Welcome everyone. We are glad that you have joined the webinar. It shows you are interested to learn something about markets. Surely, this 1 hour will be fruitful to you. Presenting speaker Mr. D. Praveen Kumar, a finance graduate. He is an MBA having a decade of experience in the market. He is a certified research and technical analyst too. So, I would like to welcome Mr. Praveen to continue with the proceedings.
Hi friends, how are you? Hope everyone is doing good. In this webinar, I will discuss about what to do and what not to do if you want to be a successful trader. Friends, we come across many people in the society who say that investing in stock market is very risky. But if you ask my opinion, I will say if you won't invest in the markets, you are taking a much bigger risk. Anyways, let's come to the topic. So this is my profile, friends. So if you see, this is the returns of different asset class over past 2 decades. So you can clearly see that equities is such an asset class which has beaten all the different asset classes. Likewise, if you see, equities has generated close to 15%, while FDs have generated 50% less, isn't it? But the thing is, if you want to invest in equities, then you should have the proper knowledge. Suppose friends, I am giving you a small example. What everybody is telling that investing in stock market is very risky. Our friends, relatives, everybody will tell us the same story. That some XYZ person has invested some 50 lakhs and see after 1 year what has happened? He has lost his entire capital. Okay, but they will not tell us on what basis they have invested 50 lakhs. Isn't it? Either they will go with a tip, or they will listen to the media, or they will read somewhere in the newspapers, or they will read in the Dalal Street, or they will read in XYZ magazines, and they will invest directly into the share market even without spending 1 minute. Okay, so the problem is with whom? The problem is with them only, isn't it? Because even if you want to buy a shirt, we will visit at least for 4 to 5 different shops, isn't it? And how much worth a shirt is? It's not more than even 1000 to 2000 rupees, isn't it? So to spend 2000 rupees, what we are doing is we are going to 4 to 5 different shops. But when it is coming to the stock market, without thinking anything, okay, without doing any R&D, we are simply dumping our money into the markets. So definitely we will lose, isn't it? So if you want to create returns from the market, first try to develop your knowledge. First try to develop your skills. Don't directly run after the money. If you run after the money, your hard-earned money will be lost in no time. So before getting into the topic, first of all, understand what is the real return. See, whether if you want to invest in markets or not, it's completely up to you. But the main thing is, at least you should be aware of the basic things. Okay. So first of all, let's understand what is a real return. Okay. So real return is defined return minus inflation minus tax. Okay. Let's assume as of now the bank is offering a fixed deposit rate of 5.4%. So generally what a layman will think that if he will invest 1 lakh rupees, after 1 year he will get somewhere around 5400, isn't it? But that is not the case, right? Let's see how. Now the inflation rate is somewhere around 3.21%, and since you people are earning, so you might be in a tax slab of 10%, 20% or 30%, isn't it? So let's calculate real return now. Means what is its real value. Suppose you have made an FD of 1 lakh for 1 year. So the defined return will be 5400. So 99% people will think that they will get this much of amount. No doubt this will be printed in your FD receipt, but the thing is the value will be different. That means the purchasing power of this 5400 will be different. So if you consider inflation, 3.21% of 5400 is somewhere around 210 rupees. And if you are in a tax slab of even 10%, then 5400 into 10% is 540, isn't it? So what is a real return? So real return will be 5400 minus this inflation, which is 210, minus 540, which comes to around 4700. So now tell me friends, if you invest 1 lakh and if you lock in your 1 lakh rupees for 1 year and you are getting 4.7% per annum, do you think that you have done a very good investment? Not at all, isn't it? Because 4700 rupees means you are not able to get even 400 rupees per month. So now you tell me what will happen with that 400 rupees. Of course your money will be safe, I agree, but what is the use of such money where you are not able to generate anything, isn't it? Since you people are, I'm assuming that you people are there in the markets and you know at least something, right? So since you are in the market, so what happened in the past 12 to 15 years? There were two major crashes. First one is in 2008 and recently in March 2020. Okay. So what is the reason behind this? Okay. Why I am showing you these two charts? See friends, if you are doing technical analysis, okay, so technical analysis works on the assumption that history repeats itself, okay, and market discounts everything. So if you are doing technical analysis, so please keep these 2 points in your mind. Okay. So what happened here is in 2008, okay, somewhere around September to December, isn't it? Just before 2008, right? What happened? You can see as the Nifty, which is the broader index, was going up, there was a decline in RSI. What is an RSI? RSI is nothing but a momentum indicator. So whenever you find such type of divergence means price will move in one direction, at the same time your RSI indicator will move in another direction. So you have to be aware, that is something big is going to happen, right? You can take a screenshot of this friends, okay, because let's go to another slide where I will show you the same scenario which happened in 2008, right? Let's move on to the next slide. Here what you are seeing, you can see the same thing, isn't it, which happened in 2008. As the prices were climbing up, the RSI indicator is going down. That means there is no momentum here, and you can see a divergence also. So if you would have read the charts carefully, at least you would have saved your capital, isn't it? So this is one of the assumptions, that history repeats itself. The same thing happened in 2008. Again the same thing happened in 2020, right? Whenever you are doing like trading or investment in the markets, please add this India VIX parameter, okay? Please add India VIX to your watch list. Why? Because there is a relation between India VIX as well as Nifty 50. Okay. What is India VIX? India VIX is nothing but a volatility index. As you can see, the market crashed heavily in the month of Feb and March. isn't it? So that time, what happened? You can see that VIX was climbing like anything. In fact, it went up to 80-82 also. So that means whenever VIX is climbing up, you have to be aware of that. If VIX is climbing up, it's better to sit in the sidelines. You should not try to enter into the market when you see VIX is rising up, because you can see a lot of volatility into the markets and your stop losses will be hit on both sides. Okay. Why this will happen? Because there will be a lot of volatility, and when volatility will happen, when there will be a lot of fear and greed among the investors. Is it okay, friends? So please add this India VIX to your watch list. So if you are doing trading and investment without adding this to your watch list, frankly speaking, you are not doing justice with your hard-earned money. Now, the next important, the most important question is how to select a stock or a company for trading and investment point of view, isn't it? Now, friends, I am asking you a silly question that everybody has two eyes, right? So if you ask me which eye is more important, or which hand is more important, or which leg is more important, I don't have any answer. Not even me. Nobody can answer me. Isn't it? Because both are equally important. So if you want to succeed into the stock markets, you have to develop your analytical skills. Isn't it? And that analytical skills will be dependent on two parameters. The first one is your fundamental analysis, and next thing is your technical analysis. Okay. So what are those things? See, fundamental analysis, it will tell us about how good a company is. Okay. What are its future plans? What are the products? What is their vision, board of directors, everything, financial parameters, balance sheets, everything you will get whenever you are doing a fundamental analysis of a company, right? Suppose I tell you an example, like Reliance is a very good company. Okay, if the company is good, that doesn't mean that you should directly jump into the market and invest your hard-earned money, isn't it? Because if a company is good, you should not invest when the valuations are high. So how to know at what price to invest, where we should put your money? Okay, if you do a technical analysis, then it can help you. That is, if you do technical analysis, if you do proper study about technical analysis, it will give us proper entry, exit, as well as stop loss. Okay. So if you want to see in details what actually is a fundamental analysis, let's discuss one by one. Okay. So if you study fundamental analysis, you will be aware of the company history and its line of business, the products and services which they are offering, about the management, about the balance sheet and financial ratios, about the promoters, and the future business plans of a company. I will show it one by one, don't worry. Next thing is technical analysis. So if you want to study technical analysis, then you have to understand the price behavior, about the different candlestick patterns, about the chart patterns, about different indicators like RSI, MACD, etc. About the trend analysis, whether the market is in uptrend, downtrend, or sideways, as well as the support and resistance levels. So if you want to invest from tomorrow, before that you have to do a homework. That is, you have to do a fundamental analysis as well as technical analysis. Okay. Now friends, we live in a society, right? So there are good people as well as there are bad people also. So it completely depends on us with whom we want to build our relationship. Isn't it? Same applies to the markets also. You can find wealth destroyers as well as you can find wealth makers also. So if you want to waste your money without knowing anything, then you can happily invest in wealth destroyers. Some of the wealth destroyers are Yes Bank, DHFL, Reliance. I am not talking about Reliance Industries. It's Anil Dhirubhai Ambani Group, PC Jewelers, Infibin, and so many other things are there. Okay, so many companies are there, right? Now, if a stock is not performing well, okay, or if the stock is going to be a wealth destroyer in the future, how to identify it? Can you identify it? Yes, there is a way. See, I'm not telling that you can make huge amount of profits. But if you follow a simple technique which I am going to discuss with you now, definitely you can save your capital. Remember friends, capital protection is the most important thing in these markets. Because our product is our money. If you lose your capital in a single day, then everything is lost. You will have no money to trade into the markets. So first of all, what we should try to focus is, first of all, we have to protect our capital. Okay? You focus on being a consistent trader. Suppose you have 1 lakh with you. Today you earned 30,000. Next day you earned 40,000. Okay, it's quite impossible to earn 30 and 40k with help of just 1 lakh. But for example point of view, I am telling. Okay, so what you will think? Okay, I am earning 20,000, 30,000, 40,000 in a single day, isn't it? So what you will do? You will take extra leverage, and you will take more number of quantities. As a result, the 5th day, what will happen is you will lose your profits as well as your capital, and you will be thrown out of the markets forever. Isn't it? That is the time when you will start cursing yourself. Unnecessarily I have invested into the markets. You will find so many excuses, XYZ. Okay? But remember friends, market is supreme. Market is always right. Just we have to go with the trend. We have to talk with the charts. Okay. Now let's see how these companies became wealth destroyers for us. And friends, whenever you are doing technical analysis, I will strongly recommend you to use TradingView platform. Right? So let's go to TradingView platform. Now we are in TradingView platform. Okay. So what you have to do is just plot 40 moving average. Okay. How you can get 40 moving average? Simply go onto here, indicators. Okay. Type moving average. Right. Since I have already added this one, so the message is displaying like that. Okay, it's a free version friends, so it will not allow us to use more than 3 indicators. Okay, but since I have already added, so let's understand the concept behind it. Okay? So if you go with the previous trend somewhere around 2016, okay, the stock prices are continuously increasing. We are not aware of technicals, and what we will think that, okay, from 2016 to 2000 almost 18, right, the stock performed exceptionally well. That is, it went from somewhere around 150 to not even 150, somewhere around 120 to 400 levels in 2 years. That means it has multiplied our capital by 3x, isn't it? Now what will happen is everybody will start talking about the Yes Bank. The media people, even the layman who don't know anything about the market, even he will also talk about such things like panwalas, rickshawalas. Everyone will start talking about this bank, that okay, this has grown our capital by 3x. So when everybody is talking about a particular company, then you have to be very, very careful. Okay? Now, by looking at the previous trend, let's assume somewhere around this area, okay, that is around 400 levels, I invested in the company, right? Thinking that it will give me multi-bagger returns in another 1 to 2 years. But what will happen is, as soon as I invest into the stock, I hope this might have happened with everyone, the stock will start coming downwards. Okay. What will happen with the stock? The stock will start coming downwards. Then we will be in a dilemma that before I invested into the markets, I invested into Yes Bank, it was growing like anything. But now, why it's falling? We will curse our luck, isn't it? But the thing is, something wrong might have happened in Yes Bank. Okay. Now, forget about good and bad. What the charts are telling us? They are telling us that if the stock moves below this 40 moving average, okay, this is a weekly chart, right? So if the stock comes below this 40 moving average, doesn't matter how good a company is, you have to exit from the stock. Okay. My simple setup is, if the price is moving above 40 moving average on a weekly basis, I will buy. And if the stock is below this 40 moving average, I will exit from my positions. I will only enter into a new trade whenever the stock moves completely above the 40 moving average line. Okay. So I entered at 400. Okay. If I don't exit at 330, right? See, the stock is below this yellow line. That means it has weakened. Okay, something wrong is happening with the stock. It has given us a signal. Immediately I have to take a loss of 70 rupees per share and I have to exit. Because if I don't exit by taking 70 rupees loss, that is, it will be somewhere around like 15 to 20% of my capital, isn't it? What would have happened today? The stock is trading at 15. In fact, few months back, it came to 5 also. It's okay. If I lose even 15 to 20% of my capital, still 80% is left with me. Isn't it? So, if I have capital with me and if I take a good trade, then there is a high probability that I can recover my amount. Isn't it? So if you won't exit at this point, that is around 350 to 330 levels, you would have lost your entire capital. Isn't it? Now, your next question will be that, sir, since it's already over, so now you are telling it very easily. Isn't it? If the stock is below this you exit. If the stock is above that, you enter. But how, suppose if I want to make my position in any of the company, say for example BPCL tomorrow. So if I use this simple technique, okay, if I use this simple technique, shall I enter into the trade or not? Okay, so for this what we will do is, I will show you something, then your doubt will be clear. See, after 2019, data is not there with us, right? Suppose we are in the month of September 19. Okay. Now, what we should do? Shall we enter into the trades based on this setup? That is above 40 moving average, I will buy, and if the stock comes below 40 moving average, I will sell. Okay, let's see. So if I want to invest the next day, shall I invest or not? Yes, because the stock is completely above this 40 moving average, isn't it? Now let's see whether to hold the trade or exit from the trade. I will be in the trade. Why? Because the price has not closed completely below this moving average, isn't it? That is this yellow line. Next, see, still I will be in the trade because the prices are moving continuously up and they are far away from this 40 moving average. So I will be in a trade, right? Shall I exit here? No, because the price is still trading above this 40 moving average. Okay, let's see how my trade goes on, will go on. There is no need to panic until and unless the price is above 40 moving average. Shall I exit from the trade now? No. Why? Because the price is still trading above 40 moving average, right? Let's see what will happen next. Shall I exit? No. Shall I exit? No, because the price is still above 40 moving average. Shall I exit? Yes, definitely we have to exit, because what happened? The price here is completely below our 40 moving average. Suppose if you will not exit here, then let's see what will happen. See how much loss you would have taken in just 2 weeks. That is, right from 440 levels, the stock came to 300 rupees. That means how much you have lost? It's more than 25% in just 2 weeks, isn't it? Even if you won't exit, then the stock is like, what to say, it is eating your entire capital day by day. It is going down and down. So now I think you have understood this concept, that whenever our setup is giving us an exit signal, then definitely we have to exit from the trade. If you won't exit, then your entire capital is in danger, right? So this is how you should plan your trades using this technical analysis. Now the stock is climbing up. Shall I enter? No, because I have made some rule. My setup is telling that whenever the price is below 40, I will not enter. So still the price is below 40 moving average only, even though you can see a bounce back. Shall I enter? No. Still it's coming down. Down. Shall I enter? No. Because you have to follow such rules. Okay? If you have made a system, then you must stick to your rules. Shall I enter into the trade now? Definitely yes. Because this candle has closed completely above this yellow line, that is 40 moving average. Okay. Shall we exit? No, because the price is still trading above 40 moving average. Yes. No. The price is taking support at 40 moving average. See, it is not coming below that line. So you should not panic. Yes, this is the time when you should exit from your trade. Okay. So this is how you have to plan your trade, friends. See, whenever you are putting a stop loss, that means it should be based on some logic. What many people will do, suppose they enter a stock at 100, blindly they will put 10 rupee stop loss. That is completely rubbish. Why? Because there has to be some logic, right? Stop loss cannot be constant every time. If you are putting some stop loss, either it should be based on price or it should be based on some technical indicators. Okay, if you simply put on stop loss without your logic, without using any logic, then sooner or later your entire profits will be gone. So friends, by using this simple setup of 40 moving average on weekly charts, you can check as many stocks as possible. Suppose if you have blown your account also in some XYZ stocks, if you use this simple setup now, then you can understand what mistakes you have done. In fact, what blunders you have done. Okay. So we have discussed about wealth destroyers, right? Now we will see some of the wealth creators. Right? So these are some of the wealth creators: Bajaj Finance, HDFC AMC, Nestle, Abbott India, Godrej Properties, Info Edge, and so many wealth creators are there. Okay. So now what we will do is we will apply the same technique of 40 moving average in these charts. Okay. Let's go to the charts. See. Now I have taken an example of Nestle India. So you can see clearly in the charts that right from 2018 to till date, it has closed completely below this 40 moving average line just once or twice. Even it has closed, it bounced back very fast, isn't it? It bounced back in no time. See, just once and twice. Here sometime. So if you take the study of this Nestle India from the past 3 years, you can see that just 3 times it has crossed below this 40 moving average. So if the stock is trading completely above 40 moving average, what does it mean? It means that the stock is in strong uptrend. You take any other example now. For example, Abbott India. Okay, Abbott. Abbott India, right? So what you can see that from March 2018, hardly you will see a time when it is crossed below 40 moving average. Even though it came below 40 moving average, there was no crash at all. Isn't it? So few days back, it crossed completely below this 40 moving average. But what was the ride? If I calculate the percentage, okay, that means if I would have invested somewhere around May 2019, so exactly in 1 year time, you can see friends, 27th May 2019 to 26th May 2020, how much returns it has generated. I think it is not visible. If I see, it has given more than 140%, and 140% in a year is too much. If you put the same amount in bank FD, it will take more than 10 to 12 years. Isn't it? So if you follow this simple technique of using 40 moving average, your risk will be minimized. Okay. Suppose I have injured my finger and I visited a doctor. Right? Doctor has told me that my left finger has got an infection. If you won't cut your finger, then your life will be in danger. Isn't it? So what will be a solution then? What I have to do is I have to cut my finger, otherwise my entire body will be infected. Isn't it? Why I am telling you this is, suppose our system is telling us to exit. You exit without even giving a second thought. Because if you won't exit at the proper time, then your whole capital will be wiped off, as we have seen in case of Yes Bank, DHFL, Anil Dhirubhai Ambani Group, and so many other companies are there. Okay, so please be disciplined, please be focused. First focus on knowledge, okay, then money will automatically follow you. Right friends? Now, till now, what we have discussed is about technical analysis. And in the last few minutes, I would like to make you aware of fundamental analysis. So for doing fundamental analysis, you have to make use of this website, screener.in. All these websites which I am discussing is available free of cost. Right? Now, if you want to select a company, right, there are some basic thumb rules which you have to follow. Okay, if you are a beginner, then I would always suggest you to go with market leaders. Right? So if you come to a FMCG company, who are the market leaders? The market leaders are Hindustan Unilever and ITC. Okay. Suppose you want to invest in FMCG, so either you should go with Hindustan Unilever or you should go with ITC. Suppose if you want to invest in metal sector, either you should go with Tata Steel or you should go with JSW Steel. Okay, so as a beginner, you should always focus on market leaders, because if you focus on market leaders, your capital will be safe up to some extent. And by applying the technical analysis on such stocks, you will get a proper entry. Okay. Now the thumb rules which you have to follow for selecting a stock is, first of all, ROCE and ROE. In the worst case also, it should be greater than 20%. Okay. ROC is what? Return on capital employed, and ROE is return on equity. So these two ratios must be greater than at least 20%. If it's less than 20%, I will strongly recommend you to avoid such company. Right? First thing. Next is what? You have to see that the company is almost debt free. Okay? Either it should be completely debt free or the ratio should be less than 0.3%. Simple concept. If the company is having more debts and if something goes wrong with the company, then how it can repay back the money of its stakeholders, because the company itself is debt ridden, isn't it? So you have to select such stocks where ROCE and ROE is more than 20%, as well as the company should be debt free, or even if it is having debts, it should be less than 0.3 percentage, right? And next thing what you have to observe is the EPS should be in increasing trend. EPS is nothing but your earning per share. You should not see a lot of fluctuations in EPS. If there are a lot of fluctuations in EPS and even in profits as well as sales, then you think that something is really going wrong. Something is not good in the company, right? Apart from this, you have to focus on OPM. OPM is what? OPM is operating profit margin. In the worst case also, it should be greater than 12%. If the operating profit margins are less than 12%, you have to strictly avoid. Okay? So these are some of the basic parameters you have to keep in mind before selecting a stock, right? Suppose I have selected Hindustan Unilever. Now you know that it's a good company based on some of the fundamental parameters which we have just discussed. So can I invest tomorrow? Yes? The answer is no. Because what I told you in the beginning of this webinar, that if the company is good, it doesn't mean that I should jump onto the market and invest lump sum amount. Even if the company is good, then I have to look at the proper place. I should look for the proper entry. And how can I get a proper entry? With the help of technical analysis. Okay. Now friends, let's come to this platform again, tradingview.com. Now since we have discussed that Hindustan Unilever is a very good company, but if I do a technical analysis, what I am understanding is I can't pay this 2400 rupees. Even at 2200, it's looking quite expensive for me. So I would wait for the stock to come to around 1800 levels. Because what you can see is whenever the stock is coming to 1800 levels, you can see a bounce back, isn't it? So in technical terms, it is called as support. So what I should do is I will always try to buy the stock at support levels, and I should try to sell the stock at resistance. Okay. Now the question arises is, what is a support? Support means such an area where buyers are dominating. Okay. So if the buyers are dominating a particular zone, and whenever the price hits that zone, definitely you will see a bounce back. Okay. Suppose it breaches 1800 level. Shall I average? No. I should wait for the stock to come to around 1600 levels, because that is my next support. See, whenever the stock is hitting 1600 area, it is getting a bounce back, isn't it? So this is how you should plan your trades, based on fundamentals as well as technical analysis. So I hope I have done a bit of justice to your time. So if you have any doubts, please feel free to ping us. Right, friends? So I would like to conclude this webinar with this simple quote and very effective quote of Warren Buffett is, the best investment you can make is an investment in yourself. The more you learn, the more you will earn. Thank you and have a nice day.
Thanks everyone for attending the webinar. If you have any doubts, then feel free to reach us. Take care. Bye.